Hi guys, welcome back. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Before I get into this video, you guys, I just want to say off the back, I don't even know the days anymore. My sleeping pattern has been totally off. It's like Groundhog Day for me. It's like the same day every day over and over again. And one thing I have been doing is been watching on Netflix. And I promise you, there's been so many movies on, especially this one movie that's actually in Spanish, but it has subtitles that actually has me glued to my bed. And I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll leave the name in this over here. And I don't know how to pronounce it, but it is absolutely amazing. I've also watched Extraction. Today, my daughter and I just watched the story of Centoya Brown. That was absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, I'm feeling the brunt of this whole isolation thing now. I honestly am. I am so sick and tired of cleaning the house and doing laundry every day. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but it's actually really affecting me right now. You know, to say that I don't even want to. It's like just doing the same thing every day. But you know what, we got to do what we got to do and just keep pushing forward. And you guys, I know I did say I was going to have a part 2 yesterday, but so much information has been coming forward. And also the mere fact is that I do have so much to say. So off the back, I just want to make note of this. I am absolutely not a lawyer, a psychologist, a psychiatrist. This is just my opinion on things, you know, and I'm not saying, I'm just giving my spin on the way I feel about this whole situation. So with that said, we're gonna get straight into this video, but before we do, don't forget, please like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you'll be notified each time I upload, and please share the video, and don't forget, please give it a thumbs up. So you guys, we're going to get back to part 2 on this whole Davy Vanity. And to get context of this video, go ahead, watch part 1. It'll give you the whole rundown of who exactly we're talking about. This monster, Davy Vanity, and Jeffree Star being involved in this. So to keep on going from where we left off in my last video, I do have solace now, and I feel a bit at ease knowing that there are investigations that have opened against this monster, Davy Vanity. And I believe now it's up to 30 people that have come forward accusing this guy of all these horrendous stuff that he's done. I was actually watching a video of REPZILLA where he interviewed LEVY, and that also gave me so much more perspective of things and the situation all these people were in. And I'm going to link his video down below, and I found that story to be absolutely eye-opening, you know, because it seemed as though this guy just has a way with people. He's such a manipulator. It's absolutely unbelievable. We can all just sit back and have our opinion and say, oh, but why didn't he or why didn't she? But we were not in that particular situation. So we will never know. You got to be in that situation to know. So I am actually going to play a video on how Davy Vanity explains when him and Jeffree Star made up after the whole tweet situation and when they went on tour again. Excuse the audio on this because this is a very old video and you can hardly hear, or you can hear, but you got to pay very close attention and listen very carefully to what he says.
I'm going to sit here, answer your question, like I said. But I love how these, like, back to what I was saying earlier, these accusations, these things that people are saying about us, if they were really true, I wouldn't be here right now. I mean, obviously they're not true. So, like I said, all a bunch of bullshit. all attempts to destroy us. Don't listen to it. It's all I'm saying. Because, like I said, a lot of people are confused. A lot of people don't know what's going on. And all I can say is that this is all to gain attention and stuff like that. And we just can't give it to them. So, it's all good. I love you guys. As far as, my relationship with Jeffree at this point, it's like I said, I never meant for any of this to happen, or any bullshit, or any confusion with our fans and stuff like that. Like I said, he acted irrational. I tried to make amends, tried to make peace, try to just put this water under the bridge. But there's a line that you cross, and you sit there and say shit. A year ago there was an attempt to take my life, and somehow I was literally hired as a hit. But I survived. Like I said, no charges were filed, and like I said, charges were filed. I'm gonna be here as I speak. Is it because jealousy or controversy, or to gain publicity? I don't know. I mean, do I care? I really don't care. I just know that my name was brought up, and false shit was said about me. So, I am not gonna let this go. I am going to retaliate, but I have different ways of retaliating. So, I don't really need to make it in public. So, be a man and handle your business. I say, haters do make you famous. I mean, because of this drama and this publicity, it's given us exposure. And again, if truly all of these things that people say about me, then I wouldn't be here right now.
So, at the end of the day, you guys, I'm not going to come here on my channel and cancel somebody because I was not there myself. There's always, first of all, I am not taking away anything from these victims. Absolutely nothing. I've never been in their situation. I can't imagine how it feels to be in the situation, but knowing it must be hard as hell. That is why this has nothing to do with them. I am not judging them. I am not saying they're not telling the truth. I believe them 100%. Absolutely. They deserve justice 100%, especially from this monster. Okay? But also, I am the type of person where I don't like to judge people. Okay? We can all be judged, right? Jeffree Star is by no means an angel. Okay? He is a rebel. End of story. He's a drama king. That's who he is. But at the end of the day, this is just going to keep going on. I feel this is just fueling Jeffree. And this is just my opinion about this, okay? He did say in regard to those tweets, he just went off what other people told him. I get it. If you don't like Jeffree, you don't like Jeffree. I get that. I'm not holding anything against anybody that dislikes Jeffree. I'm not holding anything against anybody that likes Jeffree. I am just staying neutral, okay? If Jeffree says now he does not remember, as he said in the interview we're going to talk about, he does not remember anything. Who am I to say, oh, you do know something? I don't know if he does know something. Okay, you guys, let's get into the interview he had on a podcast with Mom's Basements with Keemstar, FaZe Banks, and Colossal. They called him Clown. And in this interview, Jeffree once again said he did not see anything that he thought was criminal, in my words, okay? And he said that, and a lot of people, which the channels that I listen to, they actually said he once again deflected from this whole situation. And let's take, for example, how he denied knowing Jesse Slaughter, Damien. And I know that must have been very hard for her, because she did mention, and I will play a clip for you, that she did mention in an interview with REPZILLA where she said that Jeffree and Jay was there. They witnessed what Darby had done to her.
Another thing we talked about actually had to do with Jeffree Star, where you talked about how both he and Jay knew the relationship between you and Darby and actually witnessed him kissing you.
Yeah, they witnessed many girls kissing him. I wasn't the only one. Darby was very affectionate with a lot of his fans, and he was a lot of them. And it was normal in the scene to be kind of like lovey and touchy and stuff, but like Darby took it quite a bit far with quite a few very young fans, and Jeffree Star and Jay witnessed it. The thing that like really blows my mind, and it was dredged up very recently, was the Katie interview where she talked about the X times 3 video. Jay is in that video, and I think he might even be filming. I haven't seen the video in years because it triggers the hell out of me, but it blows my mind, the ability to sit back and go, I didn't know anything, when there is video proof of you being there watching a girl being sexually assaulted. And the same goes to Jeffree Star and his tirade of tweets, which only came out after he was personally financially affected by Darby. But then as soon as it was all glazed over, he went right back to supporting him. And it seems like it's all about financial, whether or not Darby is lining your pockets, not actually whether they care about victims.
So the way Jeffree Star deflected was saying, and this I 100% agree with, and I've said this in my previous video. Jeffree Star mentioned that he saw mothers dropping their kids off. I don't blame him for blaming the parents. I would blame myself. If I had put my child in that situation, I would 100% never forgive myself for putting my child in harm's way. That's just me. And then Jeffree also felt that this was his way to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? But then we're still not giving the respect to these victims what they deserve. And also another way we're not respecting these victims is by keep putting them through this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, don't we think that they're going enough already? Then for this one to be interviewed and then that one to be interviewed, and you know, the denials and the back and forth, this brings a lot up for these people. And imagine now coming on and listening to somebody giving an interview where they're denying you, they're denying the whole situation, making you feel like you downplaying what they went through or never experienced or never went through it. You lying about the situation. I don't think that's fair to these victims. End of the story. That's how I feel in regard to this whole Jeffree Star Darby Vanity stuff. As we said from the beginning, why is Jay not saying more? And even in REPZILLA's interview with Damien, she even said she's seen Jay was physically there. She's seen Jay plenty times. In hindsight, I feel, and this is my opinion, Jeffree Star did not appreciate Damien coming out there and telling people about him, about the fact that he was there when she was going through this horrible time. That's my opinion. And this is what has made him act so defensively. That's just my opinion. Then he goes on to talk about James Charles. And I think it was Clown that actually mentioned that, isn't it the same thing what he did 10 years ago in a tweet that he did to James Charles a year ago? And I don't know if maybe it's just me, but I understand what Jeffree is talking about when he says, no, it's not the same thing. Because this is my opinion about this. 10 years ago, when he made that tweet, he went off hearsay. He was pissed as the same thing on what he did because, excuse me, he was mad at somebody at that time. Obviously, he was mad at Darby Vanity. And he went and put this tweet out. Not off of what he saw, but off of hearsay. Okay? Because he clearly stated that he didn't see anything that would be criminal because he would have reported it. Now, when it comes to James Charles, which was last year, he made that tweet and called James Charles a danger to society or a predator because he felt, first of all, he had to come to his friend's defense, okay? And secondly, because he actually now knew and heard from somebody. A victim came and told him what had happened. So that's why he feels that's the difference. Back then, he went off hearsay. He didn't see anything, he just heard. So what happened a year ago was that somebody actually came forward, or a few people came forward and told Jeffree what James was doing to them. So are you understanding where, maybe I'm wrong, but that's what I get from it. That's the difference, where he feels it's not the same thing. 10 years ago, it was just hearsay. Last year, when he called James Charles out, he actually heard it from somebody that James Charles offended. That's just my thoughts and opinion. It was said that he threw Tati under the bus, or Jeffree Star, or Shane Dawson. You know what, at the end of the day, these are all, we all know that Shane Dawson is a very good friend of Jeffree Star. We know today that Tati and Jeffree no longer on speaking terms. So at the end of the day, he just said what was true, which Tati did make the video on James Charles, okay? And he just jumped on the bandwagon because at the end of the day, he felt Tati was his friend. Tati needed, you know, some loyalty, in my opinion. And it's just, in hindsight, people will look at it like Jeffree's trying to separate himself from this. If he is, I clearly know why. This is not something that you want to involve yourself in. But also, if you do know, or if you can help these victims, it would mean absolutely so much. And the thing that gets under my skin is that people are still coming after Tati, which personally makes me so mad. And this is my reasoning for this. Yes, Tati is an older woman. People must realize that Tati was the one that took James under her wing. Tati and her husband was the one to show James the rope, you know, to keep him, to build him up to where he needed to be. In my personal opinion, James Charles had the talent, but he didn't have the mindset. They walked him through everything. They got him to where he is today. I'm talking about having a good, fat bank account. Do you not understand where Tati was coming from? Yes, 100% she did it. I can agree with you all. She did it in the wrong way. But also, this woman was hurting. Everybody has been in the situation where you've been backstabbed by a best friend or even a good friend. It does not feel good. Imagine how Tati felt. This is a kid that she brought up from ground zero. She built him up to where he is today, okay? With not asking anything of him. She told him her secrets about what she was doing. And he, in turn, went behind her back and did business with her competitor. That must have hurt her a hell of a lot. And I can 100% agree with her pain. Okay? So whether Tati was 35 years old, or whether she was 25 years old, or whether she was 15 years old, I don't give a damn. Hurt is hurt. So at the end of the day, Tati came out with everything that apparently brought James Charles down. No, this did not bring James Charles down. He brought himself down. Because if Tati was the one that came out and said all these things about James, about him liking, playing on other men's sexuality, or, you know, all the stuff about his life, you know, and that he needed therapy and stuff like that. This was a woman that knew him inside and out. This was a woman that acted like a mother to him, okay? You all said it was wrong. Never listened to what and paid attention to what she's saying. Look at the videos where James Charles did all those controversial videos with the Dolan twins. There was other guys that he made so, straight guys, that he made so uncomfortable in the videos. People still overlook that. How many times, who else would you want to hear this from than from an older person? You know what I'm saying? Jeffree Star would not put himself in a situation like the other day to say that he does not regret or he still stands by those tweets. Because we all know James Charles always goes for his attorneys, lawsuits. So there's something that Jeffree Star knows that he's standing by, because Jeffree Star got a whole lot to lose if he's wrong. Just keep that in mind. That's all I'm saying. Don't go and rip Tati apart just because of her age. That is so, so wrong. Another thing I want to touch on. Yes, I totally agree. If you see something, say something. 100%. Who else would you want to hear this from than from an older person? You know what I'm saying? Jeffree Star would not put himself in a situation like the other day to say that he does not regret or he still stands by those tweets. Because we all know James Charles always goes for his attorneys, lawsuits. So there's something that Jeffree Star knows that he's standing by, because Jeffree Star got a whole lot to lose if he's wrong. Just keep that in mind. That's all I'm saying. Don't go and rip Tati apart just because of her age. That is so, so wrong. Another thing I want to touch on. Yes, I totally agree. If you see something, say something. 100%. Let's move on to the drama channels. I know Petty Page did a video where, long story short, she told him to F off. She basically cancelled him after she got a reply from her DM. And this is one question I have, is that if Petty Page did have the opportunity to question him, why did she choose just to immediately cancel him just from seeing one video? And I get that a video was offensive, I get that. But as a drama channel, if you can get to the source and ask questions, why didn't she? And we know that that whole DM, the reply of the DM was BS. But still, I would have still said, okay, and called him out on his BS, you know. And I did watch a video with Sanders Kennedy, and Sanders Kennedy also said that Jeffree Star is the type of person that he'll feed you stuff to report. He just loves drama, you know. And at the end of the day, let's face it, you guys, that is who Jeffree is. Jeffree is a self-made man, okay? He feels that nobody gave him anything. He owes nobody anything, so he'll do what he wants to do, and he gives a damn who thinks what of him. That's it at the end of the day. But at the end, in my opinion, is that, oh, before we go any further, I would just say props to Rich Lux. Props to Rich Lux, because he had everybody fooled by making the video on how Jeffree Star speaks out. But there was no such thing, but just stories from Jeffree Star's Instagram, which people were pissed about, because apparently he had so many. He just played the videos or the stories of Jeffree's Instagram, which I did also play on my previous video. And then he went on to report about P. Louise's break-in. And then within that video, he had like countless ads, which all he was doing was profiting from that video. So you know what? Everybody got pie in their face. And props to you, Rich Lux, for doing that. So at the end of the day, it's like, Rich Lux has always owned his bias. I give him that. I commend him for that. Because he's a loyal friend. He's not going to bow down to nobody except Jeffree Star. And he got to pay his bills. Let's face it. So what's going to be interesting to see from here on out is that who is going to have access with these drama channels now. Who is going to have access to Jeffree Star? So you guys, in closing, this is my final thoughts. I went into this with my whole being accepting what these victims went through. In my mind, there's nobody else to blame but that piece of shit, Darby Vanity. That's me, end of story. It's unfortunate that all this has been dragged up. Jeffree Star's been dragged or been cancelled, or they want him cancelled. And I find solace in knowing that investigations have been opened against this person. There's no way he's going to get anywhere else. But it just saddens me to know that he is, as I'm making this video, he is still on Instagram, still selling his merch, and people still buying his merch and showing it off. It's like, I did see, I think it was Pastel Bell. She did make she put screenshots up on her community page where she sent a message to some young lady's mom to let them know that this young lady's in danger of Darby Vanity. If I can find the screenshots, I'll actually put it up. And the mom's response was, "Stop bothering me." You got to be kidding me. You truly got to be kidding me. You know what? We're not all the same, but I can only be accountable for myself. I will not be letting my kids go to no concerts. I will not be dropping them off nowhere at the age of 11. My 18-year-old still does not go anywhere without my permission or knowing where she's going. For the most part, she's stuck here under my skirts, close to me. So not everybody's the same, you guys. But you guys, that's where it stands from now. That's where it stands with me for this, you know. And my last thing is that people, what Tati went through, when you do grow older, when you do get 35 years old, the age where you'll say Tati was when she came out with this video. Don't age shame her. You will never know what pain is unless you've been through it. So I don't care whether you 19, 20, 21. You only know enough to know right from wrong. But when you haven't had, and now you've had, and you want to please everybody, you will sell the next person down the line. That I know for sure, because that's just how it is with these youngsters. So God forbid, I know Jeffree would not come out with something and say something so incriminating without having evidence of something, because we all for sure know that James Charles will not sit back and just accept this. He will have his attorneys on Jeffree's doorstep in seconds. So you guys, I don't know what's left to say, but from my mouth to those victims, my heart goes out to you guys. I hope you get justice. I hope you get peace one day. And this piece of shit really goes to jail and really gets what he deserves, if you all know what I'm talking about. And let him live in misery for the next 20 years. So you guys, that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate you guys. And don't forget, just be kind to one another and just have an open mind. You know, it's like, you'll so much want to cancel poor Jeffree Star. It's like, look at the whole picture, people. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I know everybody's wanting the best for these victims, but at the end of the day, the victims themselves is going to get this man behind bars. I promise you that. They are going to be strong, they're going to stand tall, and they're going to get that strength and that courage and that braveness to come up against this piece of shit. That I can guarantee you. So you guys, with that said, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Don't forget, like, subscribe. Please ring the notification bell so you'll be notified each time I upload. And till the next one, you guys, thank you so much. Be safe out there and please be kind to one another. Love you guys so much. Have a great weekend and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.